What's up, good people? What's up? Hope all is well. What's good? I have some things I want to tell you guys. For those who follow me, I appreciate the support. For those who actually click like and share, I appreciate your support. Everybody knows that I just opened up my brokerage about several months ago. Now we're working on a few things that we have going on and building our brand. And I'm having my grand opening this Saturday. For those who want to meet me in person, I wanted to mention a few things. So I'm waiting on a few people to come on. So those who are tuning in, if you have a moment, I have a few things I want to tell you. But if you don't have time, you're more than welcome to tune back in. I will have the video saved and stored for you to be able to come back to it on my business page, because I'm streaming on 3 platforms right now. So you should be able to log back in and see the video once it's posted. But I hope all is well with everyone at this point. Hope all is well. I just want to mention a few things. Hi there. Thank you, Richard. All right. So I'm about to turn this music off. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. I see a few people logging in on different platforms. Everyone is coming from different sources. As long as you guys can see or hear me, we're good. I do want to mention a few things, because I know oftentimes with me being a broker and helping people with homes in my credit consulting program, a lot of people are confused about credit. And I keep stressing the importance of this because it comes up on an everyday issue, meaning that oftentimes when it comes down to the car loans, when it comes down to credit, people are not understanding how it's important not to be late on your credit. And also, if you return a car voluntary or involuntarily, it's still a repossession. Okay. We see this quite often. I have to stress the importance of understanding that people need to do research. When you sign your name on a loan saying that you want to pay for something, that you agree to pay something back, you do not have any control over if the company decides they want to pursue action against you. For an example, I had a scenario where we cleaned up someone's credit, right? Then they come back and said that the company was trying to pursue them for legal action on a vehicle that was no longer on their credit, right? Keep in mind that depending on your state that you live in, there's no statute of limitations where someone can collect and come back after you. And if they get a judgment granted, they can pursue action and actually have your check garnished, your wages garnished. So that has nothing to do with credit repair. That's why you really need to understand, when you decide not to pay something back, that there could be repercussions that has nothing to do with cleaning it off the credit. Companies now can pursue action, and they have been able to do that since the beginning. Now, depending on your state law, if it's not on your credit or even after 7 years, some companies still may pursue action. I had two incidents thus far in the last few years where someone had a car that was not even on their credit that they paid off, or they thought it was resolved probably like 10 years ago, where they stopped paying on it and they moved to Georgia. When they moved to Georgia, the company decided they wanted to pursue action. Well, they sent the request to an old address. Then some kind of way the judge granted permission, okay, of a judgment to garnish the wages. So you need to understand that those car loans ain't no joke. Two things. When you get ready to buy a home or buy a car, when your credit is full, they do not just only look at your scores. Quite often, I think people only look at scores when they look at their credit. Because I ask them, what's your credit looking like? They always want to tell me one score or a score they may think it is. You need to know how to review your credit. You need to understand what's on your credit reports, not just only what's on the scores. As mentioned previously, there's multiple sites that report different scores for different purposes. Different FICO scores, different credit reporting scores, scores about you as a person is being reported. Everything that you're doing has a score. There's a scoring system. So you need to understand the importance of these things, right? It's very important. So I wanted to bring it up because oftentimes when we get ready to work on someone's credit, they might not say anything about things that are not on their credit because they're thinking it's not impacting them. But later on, the things that are not on your credit that you don't pay may show up. It can very well show up and cause an issue. You get approved for a car loan or a mortgage loan. I was at the dealership today, pick up something, and when I was there, I was talking to a car guy. He was telling me how a lot of people come to the dealership do not understand credit. They also get loans that don't even know what the loan entails. They just happen to get a car loan. They don't know if they have gap insurance. They do not know if they got gap insurance, they're paying for it, and they have a car that's repossessed for a situation where a car may have been an accident. A car could be an accident, and when the car is an accident, if you have gap insurance, they will generally cover the cost of the loan balance to pay it off. You may have a deductible, which is anywhere from $500 to $1,000 you pay out the pocket. And you're supposed to keep paying the car payment until it's resolved. If you have an accident, if you have an accident, please understand that you're still responsible for the car payment until it's resolved by your insurance company or you have late on your credit. This is serious. This is very serious because quite often, quite often, this is happening where people think that because a car is totaled, well, I don't have to pay my car payment. That is not the case. You need to pay your car payment until the insurance claim is resolved to prevent it hitting your credit report. And if there's a balance for the gap insurance, you need to make sure you take care of that. When you get your car loan, when you go to a dealership, you need to look at the paperwork to find out if you actually have auto loan coverage that will prevent you from having to pay the loan back, which is gap insurance. You need to ensure that you have gap insurance. So these things are in place for a reason. Gap insurance covers the loan. Okay, your car insurance covers if it can be repaired. And this is serious because you would not believe that just because you know something, it does not mean that everyone else knows something. And when I was at the dealership, you do not understand the importance of educating your family. A lot of people are not educated and they don't choose to research themselves to find out about these basic things. When you go into a car dealership, you need to know when you sign on that dotted line what it entails, your interest rate. You need to know what your payment's going to be up front, and it tell you all that. You just happen to get the car loan. You need to know if you got coverage, gap insurance or not. And if you don't have gap insurance, expect to pay the balance on there if your car is totaled. Expect that, or it's going to show on your credit that you have a charge off. Keep in mind, I don't care who's doing your credit repair, what company you use, even Lexus in law. When you're doing a repossession on your credit, it's not a guarantee that it's going to come off all three credit bureaus in a timely fashion. Sometimes it won't come off at all. The three companies that I realized that are horrible to get along with, but they loan to people with bad credit: Santander, Credit Acceptance, Jefferson Financial. Some of the worst ones because I guarantee you, if the car is totaled or you stop paying on it and it becomes a repo, it will not be sold to a third party. And if it is, it's a long time afterwards. By that time, it stays on your credit and it will be difficult to get off on all three reports. I've looked at people credit for several years now. I know other people who do credit repair. And I've seen people pay somebody to do something, and then they come to me or our company wanted us to get it off, and then come to find out it was a halfway done job because it's not a guarantee. Those repos don't play. And then, as mentioned earlier in this video, when I first came on, I was telling people about when you have a repossession, okay, these companies can come back after you for the balance. It does not have to be on your credit. Know your state law. Per state law, there's some companies, it does not have to be the statute of limitation. It doesn't have to be, it can be past 7 years. 7 years is just for your credit, just on your credit reporting. But the company, if they get a judgment, they can pursue action against you And how they usually get people who are not paying attention to things is send it to an old address. If you don't update your address when you move, mail is being sent to those old addresses you have no knowledge of. And if they send it to the old address, then you take a chance of not being notified of important things that are being sent for you to be able to find out about it. Okay? These things are very important and urgent that you must understand in your success of wealth building and better credit establishment. As mentioned, when you are applying for a loan, they do not just look at scores. They look at your whole report. Look at your whole entire report. You need to know how to read your credit report. Don't rely on someone else. Another fact that's very important that you need to understand that a lot of people that I talk to, you would not even imagine the amount of people I talk to don't know what their income is. I don't care if you're not making nothing but minimum wage. You need to know what your income is averaging. If you don't know the exact amount, you need to know what you're averaging. That is another thing that's going to lead to your success. When you know the little amount that you're making, it's going to motivate you to want to make more. How do I make more? What am I doing to lead to a better income to be able to afford this cost of living increase? If you do not know what you're making, you're not paying attention to your income. You're not paying attention to your family wealth and your stability. You need to know what your income is, whether you've been on the same job for 30 years or been on one job for the last year. You got people who have been on the same job. I talked to them, been on your job 10 years. So what's your annual income? Well, I'm not sure. You've been on a job 10 years, your income ain't changed that much when you don't know what your income is, at least the estimated average of income. You need to know what your income is on average, estimated average income that you're bringing in on a regular basis. This is important. Now, if you already know all these things, this don't apply to you. But I guarantee you, you got relatives and friends who do not know. Plenty of people who do not know what their income is. It doesn't matter if you get disability check. It doesn't matter if you get minimum wage or if you're making six figures or 50,000 a year or in between. You need to know because that's going to determine your overall growth. It's going to determine what direction you're going to go. It's going to determine everything that you're trying to accomplish. And I say this very much so because it's not only dealing with my business, but I deal with other people. I deal with loan officers. I deal with banks, investors. I deal with people from all over different countries. And it's very important that the community knows each one teach one. If you know something, let your family know, let your children know, let your grandchildren know. When it comes down to these student loan debt, please understand everybody's not going to be making six figures. Everybody's not going to be a doctor or a lawyer or some high paying job. If you're going to be stuck with 100,000 student loans and barely even have a bachelor's degree, that's a problem. That's a real problem because you're not going to make enough income to ever pay it back. But besides paying it back, it impacts your debt to income ratio when you're buying a home. It would impact what you can qualify for. So, yes, by all means, get educated for whatever reason, whatever you're trying to do. It would be wrong for me to tell you not to because I have a master's degree, but I don't have no 100,000 student loan, even with a master's degree, because I didn't take out all of these loans, unnecessary loans. Teach your kids about if you're going to get educated, to be smart about it. And these private schools is a killer. You might feel like it's easy to get in because you don't want to put in your work. You don't want to put in your work so that you can save money, but it's going to hurt you down the line because you're not going to make enough income to be able to do anything with because that debt is going to show on your credit. Debt to income is based on what you're bringing in and what you have going out. Whether you're paying the loan back or not, it's a debt. Whether you paying the loan back or not, it is a debt. So understanding your debts will set you up for understanding what you need to be making so that you can look good on paper. You got a lot of self-employed people who make money, do hair, do nails, do other little odds and end jobs, may work on cars or cut grass. Those fields you can make a decent amount of living. The problem is if it's not on paper, if it's not recorded, and you're not claiming enough income, you won't be able to qualify for much. If it ain't on paper and you're not recording that income, it's not going to get you where you're trying to become a homeowner. Now with car loans, people make up fake check stubs, all kinds of stuff, and get a car. Those people do not care. As long as you get that car, once you drive off, whether you pay it or not, that balance is due. And it ain't the same as buying a house. They're going to get more in depth and more critiquing of these things that you need to be aware of as far as your money when it comes down to buying a house. Okay, when you buy a car, they may let you slide by a little bit and give you a high rate just to get you in that car. These mortgage lenders ain't playing. You need to understand when it comes down to it, what to expect. You need to know these things. And so the video that I'm talking about now is to get you where you need to go. It's for understanding your loan and your income, understanding your taxes, understanding your how it's going to impact your debt to income ratio, understanding these loans you're getting is not it don't work like that. You can't call somebody that does credit repair and say, "Oh, I don't want to pay this furniture bill back. Can you get it off my credit?" That's not ethical. First of all, I don't do business that way. I don't do business that way. If you're looking for somebody who likes to scheme and don't pay their bills, I'm not the one. I don't have a problem with paying my bills. Never have. Don't have a problem with my credit. But I offer a service to teach people about credit so they can be successful and learn about wealth building and stability for your family. And teaching your own kids how they can benefit from building credit early on. If you get good credit, you can help your children. There's different ways you can add them on your accounts to build credit if you're stable enough to do that, especially accounts you don't really use, credit card accounts and stuff. Establishing that credit before they even graduate, you don't have to worry about co-signing for them on everything. They can get a car without you co-signing in their own name, and you can still help them if you want to help them. You don't have to put your name on it. So there's different things you can do by learning and doing research. Other races and other people are learning these things. People starting babies accounts. People being born with already stuff established in their name, bank accounts, and things already put in place for their future. Now we do not know about this wicked world and how much longer we have. But while you're here and you're accruing debt, you need to understand how it's going to impact your family life and what it is to expect towards your money. This is why this video is important. When I talk to other people, and they're what we're dealing with right now with the crisis, people are getting crazy. They don't understand. This ain't. I'm like, bruh, what, bruh, what, bruh. What? Please understand. It ain't no joke, bruh. This ain't how you supposed to be doing. It's a huge. It's a huge no. Train your children so they can be set up for success. If you made a mistake, you put yourself in a position to say, look here, not my offspring. Now we know what the deal is. Let's fix this. Now we know we can't change what don't happen. But what we can do now is train our offspring, your cousins, your nieces and nephews. Remember them, your kids. You made a mistake. You can help someone else learn not to do the same thing. All right? Because these things are really, really, really crazy. Really, really crazy when it comes out of this credit. And I want everybody to be successful instead of being envious on Facebook, watching other people buy homes, hating on them, watching other people grow wealth and build success. You don't need to hate. If you got yourself together, you train your children, they're going to be able to do good. You're going to be proud of them, not about being rich and successful or becoming a millionaire. That's not even something I'm promoting. I'm talking about stability at this point. I'm talking about learning the basic stuff so that you can have a successful family life and your children not stuck with a lot of debt. This is very urgent. Like I said, don't do it. Don't do it. Understand the very importance of what we're talking about. Not where you at. Not where you at. If you've been making mistakes, it's time to get on track with it. And I have to say this because some people don't want to hear it from somebody else. But at the end of the day, you got to learn somewhere. YouTube, Google, there's so many people promote stuff online now. You should be able to log in and you're going to hear the facts today. You're going to understand the important things you need to know today. And if you ain't getting it from me, you can get it from someone else. The information is free. Knowledge is free. It just depends on what you're going to do with it. It just depends on what you're going to do with it. So, based on the information I'm trying to get out to you guys, Do your research. Do your research. Do your research. And then you'll be able to do some things. You'll be able to do some things. When I talk about building your better credit, you mean stop relying on someone else. Don't rely on someone else for your success. Just because you have the income, get yourself established credit wise. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Stop. People always say, well, somebody else is handling this. My girl handling this. My wife handling that's fine, but you need to know what's going on. You need to know. It ain't gonna get you nowhere without knowing your own stuff. Know what's in your bank account. Know what's going on with your finances and your credit. Because it can cause emotional damage. Exactly. Emotional damage. When you find out somebody using your credit card and your bank account in an inappropriate manner because you didn't do your research. Emotional damage. What you gonna do about that? That's the reason why I said do your research. Do your research. Pay attention to your own credit and income. So, anyways, it's been a pleasure. Let's see who's going to ask you to comment. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Amy. You know, I came. I didn't see you guys. I didn't see you was comment on there. Yeah, the repos it ain't no easy to go nowhere, baby. Those things don't just go away like that. They're not easy. I have got repos off people credit, by the way, but it's a hit and miss. It is a hit and miss with those repos. You need to understand them folks come back after you. They can, and sometimes they will come back after you. Please know that. Please know that. Please understand that. All right. So, anyway, it's been a fun thing. It's been a great time talking to you guys. So, I'm about to get it. I'm about to get out of here. You guys have a great day.